Hi there, my name is Kendrick and welcome to Travel and Live Free. In this video, we're gonna cover my country number 10 on my journey to visit every country in the world, which is South Africa. When I traveled to South Africa, I decided to go on a 3-week long road trip with my girlfriend Karen, and I've got to say, to this very day, South Africa is still my number one favorite country that I have visited as a tourist. It is hands down so amazing. It's full of adventure, nice friendly people, and just the landscape is out of this world. Now, my journey to South Africa actually started when I flew out of Egypt and we landed in South Africa. Me and Karen were a little bit paranoid when we arrived in South Africa because South Africa has that reputation of being a very dangerous country. So what actually happened was that when we landed, the lineup at immigration was super long, but when we finally got through, it wasn't too bad actually. Now Karen and myself actually booked a airport hostel, so the hostel is going to be quite close to the airport, and one of the reasons why we did that is because this hostel was offering a free airport pickup service. We wanted to do that because we were a little bit unsure what to do when we first arrived in the country, and we wanted to play it safe. Right when we got out of the airport and we exchanged some money, we actually called the guy to pick us up, and turned out this guy was absolutely awesome. He's fantastic. I'm a little bit sad that his hostel is no longer available for people to stay in, but back then it was amazing. He actually picked up all the people that came from the airport and drove them back to his hostel. Now we didn't rent a car right away because we wanted to rest first the first 2 days we were in South Africa, because our trip to Egypt was absolutely brutal. Egypt is one of the places that I had a hard time traveling in because of all the scams and harassment that we experienced, so we needed to decompress a little bit by the time we got to South Africa. Now after that 2 days was over, Rob, the guy that ran the hostel, drove us back to the airport. We rented a car and we drove to Kruger National Park, and that's actually the start of our adventure in South Africa. Now our general route that we decided to take was actually to go to Kruger National Park and then into Swaziland, which is now called Eswatini, back to Johannesburg. Then we were gonna fly into Zambia, travel within Zambia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and then to Namibia, and then from Namibia we were gonna fly back to South Africa and then continue our road trip. Once we get back to South Africa, our next goal was to go to Drakensberg, Durban, Coffee Bay, and go along the garden route all the way until we hit Cape Town. So that was the general plan. Now obviously plans always change as we go along, but for us, this was the general plan that we had set when we first started our adventure into South Africa. So our first part of our adventure is at Kruger National Park, and we're gonna start this video vlog right there. Okay, so me and Karen just arrived at the Protea Hotel in Kruger National Park, and this is our third day now in Africa, and I've got to say this is probably the best country I've been to so far since starting my 1-year trip around the world. The landscape is just so beautiful, the people are so nice, we're not getting harassed, internet's not too bad either, and then yeah, so we actually used our hotel points to book this room, and it was 7,500 Marriott hotel points to get this free night. And so we booked 2 nights, so I think I paid 15,000 Marriott hotel points. And in the last 2 nights we stayed at the hostel called the Shoestring Hostel by the Johannesburg International Airport, and that was pretty good too. Like, it's not much to look at, but the customer service was excellent and they gave us all the information we needed on exploring Africa. But yeah, again, I'd like to emphasize on how awesome Africa is. You know, many people say how dangerous it is, and carjacking and robbery and whatnot, and you know, so far we haven't really felt in danger since coming here. Now we just got here, so we don't know, but we'll find out as time goes by. Tomorrow we're gonna be exploring Kruger National Park. We're doing a game drive, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we're just in our hotel, and we're exploring. Hey, poop! Careful. Yeah. Oh, there's an animal there.
What is that? Is that a deer?
Looks like a deer. We'll see more as we go along, so. It's like your neighbor, you can wake up and there's like a deer outside your window. Yeah. Okay, so we just arrived at Kruger National Park and we are entering the place right now. As you can see, we're starting the drive into the park. Don't know what to expect, but we'll see as we go along, I suppose. I think the name of our first destination is called the Shukazu Park, so we'll see what happens. Okay, here we go. Entering the park. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna take our sweet time driving here. We're gonna see if we can find any animals.
Across the street.
There's a giraffe right here.
Oh my god, it's a giraffe.
Looking at us. Just
Oh my god, it's a giraffe.
out of nowhere.
Is he not gonna move? Maybe he's waiting for something to happen.
There's a giraffe here.
Oh
It's
my
running.
god, it's so big! He's just looking at us! What is monkey?
Maybe you should close the window.
Oh my gosh. Elephant butt. Oh, what more? Oh my god! It's walking towards
looking at
us.
He looked at us. What's coming?
Ah! Ah!
The hippos are just chilling there, sleeping, just outside. Okay, so we're making a video right now of Pumbaa. See, there he is. They're just eating. Hakuna Matata, Pumbaa. It's a video for Rhino. He's moving very slowly right now, grazing.
He's so cute!
They're just grazing right in front of us. Hey there, so I'm in one of the camps in Kruger National Park right now. We've been driving for quite a while, and I've got to say, this is probably my favorite place that I've been to so far in my one-year trip. And I have a feeling that this might actually be the highlight of my one-year trip, is going to Africa. I just didn't realize how beautiful it was in this country, and you know, people are so nice and it's not as dangerous as people claim it to be. I mean, so far, we'll see. The next day we drove to Eswatini, and at the time it was called Swaziland. Now we made a mistake because we took too long to drive there because we didn't realize that the road condition in Eswatini was going to be so bad. So on our way back to Johannesburg, it took us longer than we anticipated, and by the time we got to Johannesburg it was nighttime, which is super scary because one of the things that they warn you when you first go to South Africa is don't drive at night at Johannesburg, and here we are driving at night at Johannesburg. So luckily for us nothing happened, but I was definitely driving like a maniac. I was driving like 160 kilometers per hour by the time we got to Johannesburg, just to avoid anyone from potentially stopping us. After safely getting back to Johannesburg, the next day we actually ended up flying to Zambia, and we ended up exploring Zambia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Namibia before heading back to South Africa to continue our road trip. Okay, so we just arrived at the cradle of humankind. We're gonna go enter the building shortly. It's just right in front of us right now. Okay, so me and Karen are gonna walk towards it, take some pictures, and then we're gonna go ahead and explore. So right now our inner nerd is exploding. We're quite the nerd, and we love this kind of stuff. Look at Karen, she is just bouncing in happiness right now.
I'm excited.
Alright, so it's just right in front of us.
Oh my god.
Apparently there's snakes here too, so they told us to be
beware
careful.
of
So let's take a...
What kind of snake?
Okay, beware of snakes. Hopefully we don't get attacked by snakes as we go in here.
Wow, look. Life first emerged about 3.
Okay, we're gonna go inside.
Which have shaped the development and diversity of life. A journey that to our level began. Imagine biology back through time. Through analytical forces which have shaped.
So cool! Wow, babe! Oh, it's cold here! Oh, we're in Ice Age now!
Yeah, I'm scared.
We're in Ice Age now, babe! We're experiencing like how humans evolve. No, this is how humans evolve. See, it's Ice Age now.
I'm so scared.
Oh my god! Oh, lightning! Oh. No, they can't, not allowed. Oh my god. So we're inside the Cradle of Humankind right now, and I've got to say this has got to be one of the coolest museums I've ever been to. We've barely scratched the surface. We just took a boat ride. Later we're gonna go check out some caves where I believe the human species where they excavated some bones. So we're gonna go check it out shortly, and we're gonna go keep exploring this place. We are now entering Sturcombe, and we're wearing our hard hats to make sure we don't get hurt. So we'll get back to you once we are in the cave. After our adventures at the Cradle of Humankind, our next destination is Drakensberg, where we would be staying 3 nights because we want to go see Lesotho, which is one of the countries that's landlocked within South Africa. Okay, so we just arrived at the Amphitheater Backpackers. We're right now inside our private hostel room. We got the budget double room, so this is what it looks like. So this is one of the beds. There's Ken right here, and over right here is our double bed. So we're pretty much staying inside a wooden house. It's pretty neat, and it's just very interesting, you know, to stay at the wooden house. I'm just gonna turn on the lights for a second, see what it looks like. Okay, well, no difference. Okay, so me and Karen are gonna head out right now, and we'll get a video of what the outside looks like. Okay, so we're right outside right now, and as you can see from the background, you can see the wooden house that we're staying at. Just right there. Okay, and the surrounding area is quite nice as well. We spent the next 3 days just hanging out at Amphitheater Backpacker, and we also did a day trip to Lesotho, which is one of the African countries. Afterwards, our next destination is Durban, which we went to after our trip here. Okay, Karen's about to drink this thing here called Manandi Mahewu that we found at the Steers at the engine gas station here in Durban.
We're gonna try every weird drink.
So she's gonna try it, and we'll see what her reaction is after she tastes it.
Pineapple, apparently.
All right, here we go. Yeah, it's pineapple flavored. I don't even know what it is, but here we go. She's drinking it right now.
Tastes like pineapple. It's just thick. It's kind of like that maize we had yesterday from Lesotho.
It's just a corn drink. Does it taste like corn in it?
It's thick. It looks like rice pudding, but it tastes like wet maize. It's flavored like pineapple. It's not sweet though. Not
Okay.
sweet. The best is like keep you really full. Here, you try it.
I think I'll take a quick sip. Did you shake it first?
I did, yeah. It's good, right?
I don't know what to make out of it.
I think if we're really hungry and we needed something,
But it makes you full, like, yeah, I can see it.
yeah. Okay, so what do you have? Burger? Steers. We've fallen in love with steers.
Some barbecue sauce.
Yeah. And they're amazing fries. Okay, we're gonna eat. Bye.
After our overnight at Durban, our next destination is Coffee Bay, and we had a lengthy drive to get there. By the time we got there, we had a tour of the facility that we were staying at, and we just noticed that we were staying in a rendezvous, which was an interesting experience. We actually had one of the best sleeps that we've ever had staying here in this rendezvous, and the next day, it was one of the worst days of our days during our trip to South Africa. The drive to Coffee Bay the day before was a very hard drive because the road condition is quite poor. So the next day we decided to venture off early to go to Jeffreys Bay, which is a 10-hour drive from where we were. However, the locals actually stopped and blocked the main road that exits Coffee Bay, and we ended up stranded. We were even threatened by the local, and a woman went up to our window and said, "You better get out or they're gonna hurt you." We were definitely very scared. And thankfully for us, we found some white South Africans that showed us another alternative exit to the place, although the road condition was even worse than what we drove on. We had no choice but to take this road, and after 3 hours of grueling slow drive into these terrible road conditions, we managed to get out and we made our way out of Coffee Bay. From there, we had another 7 hours drive before we reached Jeffreys Bay, and that was one of the most brutal days that I've ever had in my life, and also one of the most scariest. Okay, so we just arrived at Jeffreys Bay. We drove I think 11 hours from Coffee Bay to get us here. The drive from Coffee Bay to here was brutal because there was a strike happening in Coffee Bay and they actually blockaded the road, making us unable to get out of there, and we had to take some kind of crazy dirt road that took 3 hours to get out of to get here to Jeffreys Bay. Regardless, we got out and we're safe, thankfully, because I think things would have probably turned bad if we had waited longer. But after driving 11 hours, we are exhausted, but we made it safe here at Jeffreys Bay, and this place is awesome. The hostel is great. This is what our place looks like, so I'll just quickly turn this around. So there's Karen in the background. She's waving. Okay, so this is our living room. It's shared with other people staying in this hostel, but right now they're not here, so it's just me and Karen. This is our kitchen. We're cooking dinner right now. We're making pasta. Okay, so we're just right there. Just finished frying this up. And then we have a fridge right here. So it's almost a private room that we have. Dining table. 2 bunk beds, I think, once we get more roommates. Painting. This is the other room that's in this hostel. This is not our room. Our room is this one right here. So this is our bedroom. All our stuff is already sprawled out. This is our bed. We got towels. A closet. Okay. And our own private bathroom. So tomorrow, once I get the chance, I'm gonna go around the hostel and I'll make a video of the entire place. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so this is our second day in Jeffreys Bay right now. We got moved to a different room because the other room was booked by other travelers. So our room right now has a little cloth line in the back. I just hang up my wet laundry that I did yesterday. Here's our bed. But the coolest part about our new room is that our balcony has a view of the beach. So I'm gonna show you now in a second what that looks like. This is our balcony, and if I open the door here, okay, you'll see that it's right by the beach. So we actually have a beach view right here at Jeffreys Bay. So apparently Jeffreys Bay is a surfing place here in South Africa. It's really popular amongst the locals and apparently all over the world. And they have a surfing contest here every year. And what happens is that there's a lot of great white sharks apparently in the water. As a matter of fact, I was talking to the front desk lady and they said that they caught a shark here yesterday. A fisherman caught a shark. And then apparently there was a surfing championship here a while back, and not a while back, maybe like a year or two or so, where during the finals, one of the surfer punched a shark that tried to attack him during the competition. So that's pretty cool. Another common great white shark attack happened apparently about a year and a half ago when an old man was swimming in the water and the shark ate him. So apparently this is a normal occurrence here in Jeffreys Bay. Regardless, this is actually one of my favorite cities here in South Africa. Originally I wasn't gonna come here because, I mean, there's so many cities here, you don't really know which one to pick. So when we decided to come here, I was like, oh shit, okay. And turns out it was an awesome decision. We got a nice room, very peaceful here. Definitely one of my probably top 3 places I've been here in South Africa so far. Anyways, gonna wrap this up for now, and I think sometime today or tomorrow we're gonna go check out the beach, most likely tomorrow. And today we're just gonna go rest up and get some groceries and chill out. Alright, next time. Okay, so we're about to go to the beach right now in Jeffreys Bay. We had an awesome time in Jeffreys Bay, but before you know it, it was time to leave and go to Gansby, where I would be doing the great white shark cage diving. Okay, so me and Karen just arrived at Gansby. We are at the great white shark backpacker, and we're gonna go explore the place in a bit. There's Karen. I don't know if you can see her. Yeah, she's laying in a bed, and yeah, I want to do a quick video of the place before I go ahead and call my shark booking.
This is like the outside of the house, and they just like put a room.
Looks kind of like similar to Rob's place in Johannesburg. So I'm just gonna go outside and oh, door's locked. Pathway we took. The next day, I ended up teaming up with a fellow individual that was staying in the hostel, and we ended up going to do the great white shark cage diving. And I would have to say it was one of those really exciting moments during my travels. Now, it was a little bit gross as well because people were puking on the ship, but it made sense because of the motion sickness. I even took the motion sickness medicine myself just to prevent the motion sickness from happening, which turned out to be a bad idea later on when I was driving to Cape Town because I was still really dizzy. Regardless of that, the shark cage diving itself was amazing, and I saw the great white shark come right in my face a few times, and it was really exciting to see that. I also got to see the great white shark from the top of the boat, and that was also really cool. And overall, this was one of those once-in-a-lifetime memorable experience ever. After the great white shark cage diving, I drove all the way to Cape Town afterwards, and it was a bad idea because I was still drugged up from that motion sickness medicine, and it made it really hard to drive. I actually felt sick the rest of the day, and I had to wait until the next day before I explored Cape Town because I was still recovering from feeling sick. However, next day we ended up going to Table Mountain, which is the last part and the finale of our trip to South Africa. So me and Karen are now in Cape Town. We are staying at the backpack hostel. Feeling a little bit sick because I went shark cage diving earlier, and I don't know what happened. I just feel really under the weather. otherwise, our hostel's awesome. The internet's really fast, and I think it's the first time we've had fast internet since coming to South Africa, so that's pretty interesting. I'm gonna take a quick tour of this place, and then we're gonna go wrap this up, because today we're just gonna go spend some time to rest. Okay, so this is our last day in South Africa. Me and Karen are having our final stop. There's Karen right there. Having our final stop here at Cape Town. We are about to take the cable car to the top. It's been a long journey, and I think it's just fitting that we're gonna end our trip in the most iconic place here that everyone wants to go to, if not the only place that people go to when they come to South Africa. So we're on our way, and we'll get back at you once we get on to the tram. Okay, so me and Karen are waiting in line right now. As you can see, there is quite a long queue here. The couple that we met from Netherlands just a few days ago said that they waited 1 hour for them to get to the top. So hopefully we don't have to wait that long today. Okay, so the lineup continues here. Now me and Karen are squeezing like sardines here in the cable car. There she is.
Hello.
And we're on our way up to the top.
Thank you and enjoy.
Low battery. Okay, so we're now on top of Table Mountain. It's pretty chilly up here, and it's foggy, so we can't see anything. So we're hoping that it'll clear up pretty soon, and we'll be able to see the view. And I think it will clear up because I do see the clouds moving. Okay, so I'm just now in the Wi-Fi lounge here in Table Mountain, waiting for the fog to clear up, and then hopefully it does, so we can go see the rest of the mountain. We wrapped up our trip by checking out bo-kaap in Cape Town before heading to the airport and flying to Johannesburg and wrapping up our trip to South Africa.
Yeah? Well, alright. Making a video. So we are leaving South Africa today. Where are we heading?
Perth, Australia.
Perth, Australia. So that would be kind of different. We are. How are you feeling? I feel kind of sad we're leaving South Africa.
Yeah, but it's time to move to the next place.
Yeah.
It's nice there, actually.
Yeah, it does. So we are flying off to Perth, and then from Perth we are flying to Singapore. We'll be there for about 10 hours, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna head off to our mysterious location. Oh my god, fingers.
And then we'll go to Brunei.
Any last words before I stop the camera?
Yeah, Africa's been awesome.
Yeah, we loved it.
Yeah, it's been awesome, and I think this is definitely a place where we're gonna come back to.
Yes. We made a promise on the plane. Pinky promise. So we're gonna come back.
Yeah.
I wanna go check out Robben Island. There's a Nelson Mandela.
Silly Mandela.
Silly Mandela. Alright. Gonna go.
After we finished our trip in South Africa, we flew to Perth, Australia, and then we connected to Singapore, which is going to be the next country that we visited after our trip to Africa was finished. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and you found this video helpful in any way if you ever plan on doing a road trip in South Africa. And again, to this day, South Africa is still my favorite country that I have ever visited, and I will definitely go back to that country one day and do another road trip, but this time starting in Cape Town and going to Johannesburg instead. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And don't forget to sign up to the Travel and Live Free newsletter, where you can get a 10-step cheat sheet on how to travel around the world. You can go to the description below to sign up to that newsletter. Until next time, I'll see you then.